Καλησπέρα σε όλους. Πριν από ένα χρόνο, στον κόλπο του Μεξικού, από μια κατεστραμμένη πετρελαιοπηγή της BP, διέρευσαν στον ωκεανό 5 εκατομμύρια βαρέλια αργού γλυκού πετρελαίου της Λουιζιάννα. Οι Αμερικανικές Ομοσπονδιακές Υπηρεσίες και η BP κινητοποίησαν αμέσως ένα στρατό απορρυπαντικών συνεργείων και χρησιμοποίησαν τότε 14 εκατομμύρια λίτρα χημικών διαλυτικών για να εμποδίσουν το πετρέλαιο να φτάσει στις ακτές. Το κακό όμως έγινε. Την περασμένη εβδομάδα είδαμε πως αντιμετωπίστηκε η καταστροφή αλλά και οι επιπτώσεις της στο περιβάλλον. Σήμερα τόσο η BP όσο και οι Αμερικανικές Ομοσπονδιακές Υπηρεσίες υποστηρίζουν ότι το πετρέλαιο, τα διαλυτικά, η μόλυνση έχουν περιοριστεί σχεδόν 100%. Έχουν εξαφανιστεί. Απόψε στην Εμπόλεμη Ζώνη, στο δεύτερο μέρος του νέου μας ντοκιμαντέρ, άνθρωποι με υψηλά ποσοστά καρκινογόνων ουσιών στο αίμα τους και ανεξάρτητοι ερευνητές με στοιχεία σοκ για τη μόλυνση στη διατροφική αλυσίδα αποκαλύπτουν μια τελείως διαφορετική εικόνα για την μεγαλύτερη διαρροή πετρελαίου στον ωκεανό στην ιστορία της ανθρωπότητας.
You won't meet too many people who live in Grand Isle who don't have health issues because of this. I think most of the common complaints, during the summer we had a lot of burning eyes, burning nose, burning ears, headaches, nausea, fatigue, a hacking cough. And now we're hearing more reports of this hacking cough keep coming back and back again. And yet the United States government and BP doesn't recognize claims that this has anything to do with the oil. The problem is, and you'll see this again and again and again in coastal communities like this, a lot of people are scared. A lot of doctors are scared. There's a test to test people's blood. It's called a metamatrix test. A doctor has to order this test. Insofar, most doctors have been reluctant to order this test. So you have people people are scared. They're scared of BP.
Scared of what?
You know,
what BP will do to them?
Louisiana is run, the state is run as an energy state. And so we're talking from the bottom to the top. This state is run really by energy concerns. It's run by the petrochemical industry. So there's a lot of fear here in trying to take on this industry. And I think a lot of doctors are afraid of that. We have Wilma Suber wants
losing their job?
Losing their job or even more serious.
Come in their house and assassinate them?
Wilma Suber was shot at. She was in her lab and was shot at.
The ones that are severely impacted, the ones that are urinating blood. We have some incidents of leukemia, which is caused by benzene, which is a known component of the BP crude. And we found as much as 10 times the normal level in their blood.
For 3 months, I couldn't see in light at all. My eyes would contract in light where I couldn't even see in a 40-watt lamp bulb.
I have internal bleeding right now. A friend of mine who I dove with on every occasion has the same levels as I do. It's coming out of his nose every day and it's coming out of his bowels every day. I just have it coming out of my bowels every day.
Were there other leaks? How much oil was that in the place?
They came out with resources.
I can't get a straight
feel like I'm witnessing a really horrible nightmare in the history of the Gulf. I mean, there's some people who feel that it'll be the end of some of our communities.
Interview, you're welcome to use that for a backdrop. That is a fuel for the Gulf of Mexico.
From the day the spill happened, the explosion happened, we've been monitoring the situation, working with the agencies, evaluating what information was flowing in. We have a large number with health impacts, and when they go to their doctor, if they have enough money to go to their doctor, the doctors say, oh, it's just infected sinuses. Oh, you've got chemical pneumonia. And they'll give them antibiotics and then just dismiss them. And they don't want to say it might be associated.
One may say, how can you be so sure that these people are sick because of the BP oil?
The only difference in their life is they've been exposed to the BP oil and the dispersants.
So my cohorts in all this effort I'll be talking to you about today are members of Louisiana Environmental Action Network. Mary Lee Orr, Stand Up Mary Lee, is the executive director.
After the initial catastrophe, we started getting calls about health problems from the oil spill.
What kind of problems?
Respiratory problems at the very beginning. They were doing what they called in situ burning, which was burning on the water. Also, when the air would blow off of the slick, when it would blow towards the communities, our folks would have trouble with their asthma, they would have to increase their medication, or people who didn't have any respiratory problems before were calling and saying, something doesn't smell right, I'm having difficulty breathing.
Can you estimate how many people were affected by this?
I wish I knew the answer to that. My fear is so many people, I don't even know. Many, many, many people. I mean, every day I get more and more calls from people who feel like their life has been changed because of this spill.
And why do we don't have official data on this?
That's an excellent question. Why don't we have official data on this? Why is a little nonprofit like Lean being out there, the only independent testing that I know of the soil, the water, the sediment, and then the biota, the seafood? We've been testing since August. Nobody else has been testing.
We've been doing blood testing for volatile solvents. The BP crude and the dispersant have volatile solvents in them. The benzene, the ethyl benzene, the xylene, and the hexane correspond to what we're finding in the air and what's in the dispersant and the crude. And these chemicals are found in the blood. Individuals with the highest of these chemicals in the blood was a male diver who reported diving through the crude slick. He's 47 years old. He had ethylbenzene 5.6 times acceptable, xylene 5.68 times, he had hexane, he had 2-methylpentane, he had 3-methylpentane, he had isooctane. Then we have a 10-year-old male. His family are grabbers. He had 2-methylpentane, the highest of any samples we have today. 3-methylpentane, the highest of any samples today. The isooctane, the benzene, the ethylbenzene, the xylene, and the hexane. Dead oil and dead birds, mammals, aquatic organisms, they're spread all along the wetlands and beaches. You saw just
Thursday of last week, This individual called and told me that he was confined to a wheelchair, paralyzed, was having seizures, had been to 10 to 12 different hospitals and doctor's offices, had MRIs, all kind of brain scans done, and they couldn't identify what his problem was.
Wheelchair. His name is Paul Doon, and Paul is from Navarre in Florida. Paul, do you have a microphone that you can use?
I was recently affected in early June. I was swimming in the water, doing everything a normal teenager does do. In late June, I had an onset of headaches and internal bleeding, which I then referred myself to a hospital. The hospital really couldn't tell me much of what was going on with me. They said all my labs were coming back normal and everything was good. They sent me on my way home. It didn't get better from there. It just got worse. My headaches started getting worse. I've had constant dizziness. On November 24th, I was going into the Marines, and I there then went through my training, came home that day, and I had a headache, so I took some of the medicine the hospital prescribed. They said it would be better within a few weeks. I went to lay down and my chest started hurting. I started having numbness down my arm. I went to go find help. That's all I remember. After that, I woke up in a hospital. I couldn't move my left arm. I couldn't move my left leg. I was basically paralyzed on the left side of my body. Now I'm confined to a wheelchair. My daily life has been pretty much constricted to having multiple seizures, uncontrollable seizures. I have to have somebody with me constantly. I can't get a grip on myself. I have a constant headache, constant spinning, vertigo. We came here today for answers because I've been to 14 hospitals since November 24th. I've seen 93 doctors, and no one can tell me what is going on with me.
My name is James Miller. I'm a commercial fisherman in Biloxi, Mississippi, all my life. It's a shame that we all go to this church here and wonder why we hear about health care. Says, no, man, I'm really hurting everywhere. Couldn't explain why I was hurting everywhere. Every day I heard they're not taking care of us. And I'm sorry that we're here today and come here. God bless us. Yeah, God bless us.
Catfish is one of the greatest warriors in this.
Does he take any medicines for him? Yes. What does he take?
Rontin, Kefra.
Just this thing going.